So I ended up going to Sharon this morning to pick up a few new books, and down the street I noticed that there is a nativity scene up. I've always kind of liked that imagery. I've always thought it was very just pleasant imagery. It never really meant anything to me, so I don't have the guttural hatred that a lot of atheists have towards the nativity, provided it's not in town square. You know what I mean? But and I had said something like that. Donna was driving. So we go past, and I'm like, oh, I've always loved the nativity scene. And I got this look like I just fisted a gorilla. uh, and she's like, that's just really interesting to hear you say. I said, why? I mean, I think I've always been the live and let live kind of person. Or yeah, maybe not. Um, like, granted, I don't believe in God, and therefore I don't believe in Jesus Christ. I don't believe in uh, what Christmas is about or supposed to be about. After it gotten taken control of by the toy companies and whatnot. But I've always thought that it was always a pleasant a pleasant piece of imagery, personally. Uh, and then I started thinking, am I seriously viewed as this just facetious asshole? Like, I don't think I've ever really been that overt in. I don't think I've ever hated theists. Put it that way. I don't think that I've ever really. I guess on some level I have judged Christians for the way they think, and theists, not necessarily Christians. I don't mean to single Christians out, but I don't think I've actually been like animalistic towards any of them. I think I've always been fairly accepting of it. Like, when you come to my door, I'm gonna get irritated if you're hawking religion. If you're in the center of town, passing out Bibles and shit like that, I'm gonna get a little irritated. You know, the fact of the matter is, I should be able to, be in my own home or walk the streets without being accosted by 20 churchgoers, being like, you need to see the light of God. And it's like, no, I fucking don't. You do. So leave me be. And then the second, I say something to that effect, I'm treated as the asshole simply because I just want to be left alone. I don't care what anyone else believes. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care if you believe in Allah, the flying spaghetti monster, fucking pink unicorns, and hearts, diamonds, and clovers, and Lucky Charms and shit. I don't care. I don't give a shit what anyone else believes. Uh, I think that. Let's face facts. The probability of God is so so small as to be laughable. I don't think there's a thinking person out there who doesn't inherently know that. But for for someone to kind of force their mores on someone else, I don't do that. Which is one of the reasons I don't really make too many atheist videos. I try and keep it fairly fairly non-atheistically topical on my channels, specifically because I have no interest in being labeled as an atheist. Like, I am, an atheist, but it's something that is as much of a part of me as my eyes are brown. Yeah, I don't feel the need to go around to people and say, "Hey, my eyes are brown." It's just something that is. Granted, you being an atheist is something that's not quite as overt as having brown eyes, but still, it's just as important. regarding who I am. I had a specific point. Anyway, uh, so I guess what I'm trying to drive at and really curious about is, do I seriously come across as someone who, like, if you're a Christian, or if you're, a theist or whatever, that I automatically don't like you because of that? Do I seriously come off that way? Because if I do, I need to figure something out about that. I mean, granted, personally, if I don't give a shit what you believe, when you start making decisions based on that, I, I, I tend to look at you as if you've got something growing out of your face. Um, but the biggest thing is when you try and make decisions on my behalf based on your religious beliefs. That's when I fucking start to grit my teeth. You know, I mean, you take something like abortion, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. But if you make decisions regarding abortions based on what you believe about God, Jesus, the Bible, whatever, that's pretty stupid, as far as I'm concerned. If you make it based on your own personal morality, and you know what, morality is, it's not static. It's a very fluid thing, because what was acceptable now was not acceptable 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, or shit, even 20 in some cases. So, just, I don't know. I suppose the biggest thing, getting back to the nativity scene, is, that was in a church front yard. I'm happy about that. I think that's awesome. I fully recognize the need for religion in some people's lives, and that's great. Fine. But it has no place in mine. Regardless of the fact, I love the idea of the nativity scene. I think the imagery is always very beautiful, and or just maybe it's getting to be holiday season. I start to wind down every holiday season. Something about this, the wind, or the weather getting cold, and all that stuff. Who the fuck has time to bicker and argue, man? It's too fucking cold. I don't know. Anyway, I just felt like kind of getting on camera ranting like a dumbass. Later.